Good morning, class. Welcome to St. Peter's School. This is your science class, and in previous class we are doing with the question answer of the first chapter, and we have completed up to the question number third. Okay, so now today we are going to start with the question number four, five, six. Okay, so let's move. I would request all the students please take out your books and keep in front of you so that you can easily understand what we are doing exactly. So take out question number four. See what is written in the question number 4. State whether the following statements are true or false. Okay. So you have to say like only you have to say that is it true or false, and also you have to explain statement with this why it is true and why it is false. Okay. So let's read out the first question, that is A. Lactobacilli are harmful bacteria. So how lactobacilli are harmful bacteria? Lactobacilli are harmful bacteria. Is it true or false? Is it false? It is false. Why it is false? Lactobacilli are the harmful bacteria. We all know that where is lactobacilli bacteria is found. Lactobacilli bacteria is formed in milk that has making yogurt or dahi, right? So lactobacilli bacteria is useful for us. They are mostly found in the gastrointestinal tracts of human and animals. They are an important component of dairy products such as milk, yogurt, and ghee, etc. So lactobacilli bacteria helps in making, you can say, it is found in milk, which helps milk to form yogurt and some ghee, something, right? Second question is, cell wall of fungi is made up of chitin. Cell wall of fungi. Yes, it's true, because cell wall of plant is made up of cellulose, while fungi is very different from plant cells, because plant cells have chloroplast too and green in color, but where fungi is non-green in color, and even the cell wall is different. Cell wall is made up of chitin. Now, question number C is organ of locomotion in amoeba is pseudopodia. Okay, yes, it's correct, right? Organ of locomotion in amoeba. Okay, sorry, paramecium. I think it's organ of locomotion in a amoeba is pseudopodia. So yes, true. It's because we already have studied when you were protozoa, right? In protozoa, when we are studying the protozoa family, when we are studying with dealing with the classification of microorganism, you can see here paramecium. On the picture of paramecium is given here. So what they have? They have pseudopodia. Okay, pseudopodia, in paramecium, cilia is a locomotory structure, while in amoeba, pseudopodia is known as the locomotory structure. Okay, now question number D is tomato wilt is a viral disease. Is it? Yes, tomato wilt is a viral disease. You can see it's written here at the top of the page number 5. You can see there some of the examples which is written that there are some good bacteria, bad bacteria, even the virus. Okay, so in plant, tomato wilt virus is affecting the plant of the tomato. So tomato wilt is known as the viral disease, and it's true statement. Okay, now move to question number 5. It's given give answer. First question is, state the merits of Whitaker's method of classification. State the merits of okay, so during the class also I have given you few of the few lines regarding this, so that what are the merits of Whitaker's classification and what are the demerits of Whitaker's classification, like fungi has got a different kingdom, new kingdom, and they have also in like divided plant and fungi. The structure of the structure has been uh, clear for most of the virus also, but still there are most of the like in Monera kingdom there are some organism which cannot be like identified due to this cellular structure, because some of them are having membrane but some of them are not at all. So they he was not clear with the Monera kingdom, and so that's why there are some demerits and merits of the classification. So today we will see what are the merits of Whitaker's classification. First of all, we will see. So first point I have given here: unicellular and multicellular organism are kept and categorized separately. Yes, I already told you that in Monera kingdom also and in Protista kingdom also, some of them are easily classified. Yes, it's cellular, unicellular, it's multicellular, but some of them are not clear. But still, some of them are clear. So that's why this is the merit of Whitaker's classification. Okay, so second point I have given, autotrophic and heterotropic modes of nutrition are placed in distinct groups. Okay, other than Monera kingdom. Um, but in Protista kingdom, fungi kingdom, it has been clearly classified that the particular organism is heterotrophic or particular organism is autotrophic. So it is cleared. So that is the merits of Whitaker's classification. Fungi is separated kingdom because of its mode of nutrition. We already discussed this. So that the most important merit of the Whitaker's classification, that fungi is classified, fungi is separated from the plant kingdom, and because of its mode of nutrition, it is more fourth point I have written here, it is more naturally segregated than classified under two kingdoms. Okay, it like previously what happens, Carl Linnaeus, what he used to do, that he has divided kingdom into two parts only, plants and animals. But what about the other organisms, smaller organisms? But Whitaker has taken all the organism, and it has given all the organism as their fixed place, that yes, it's come under the Monera, it's come under the Protista. So there is no confusion that everything is either plant or either animal. They have given us something, a new classification. Okay, now last is prokaryotes are unicellular organism which are placed in the kingdom Monera. So Monera got actually, if either though in prokaryotes the, like, the cellular structure is not defined, but it is considered as the prokaryotes, and it is considered as a unicellular organism in the whole. So these all are the merits of Whitaker's classification. This is very important. So if you have to write demerits of Whitaker's classification, what you can write here, you can just write it that in Monera kingdoms, few of the organism are not cleared with the unicellular, multicellular. Few of the organism again are not cleared with the mode of nutrition, like in Monera and Protista kingdom. Fungi is separated kingdom. It's a merit. It is more naturally segregated than classified under two kingdoms. Yes, he has classified, like he has given a new change to the classification, but yet some of the organisms are not classified very clearly. Prokaryotes are unicellular organisms which are placed in the kingdom Monera. Yes, it is considered like it is unicellular organism, but still there are some organisms which has some memory, or it is not cleared exactly it is a unicellular or multicellular. So when you have to write demerits, you will write like this. Okay, now move to the question number B, and that is the question number B is question number 5B. Write the characteristic of virus. So what are the characteristics of virus? You can, I have already given you notes on this, but then also I have given you points here, that they are extremely small in size and simpler than big bacteria. They are so small in size so that they can easily be seen under the electron microscope only. They are not seen under the normal microscope because they are ultra microscopic in structure. They are microscopic, which are visible only with an electron microscope. The same point is given here. They are considered to be the organism which live at the edge of the living and non-living things. Yes, we discussed about this, that what virus actually do. Why virus is known as the edge of the living and non-living, because when virus is outside of the living body, it almost acts like a non-living thing. It cannot perform any biological activity. But when as soon as it enters into any living one body, what happens, it becomes active. So that's why it is known as the edge of the living and the non-living things. They are dependent parasites which cannot survive on their own. Yes, we all know that what is virus. Virus always needs a living body to survive. So because they cannot live long for on non-living things. They can be while they are active for like more and more times in a living body, and even they are able to replicate themselves in a living body. Okay, so they are parasites. They require a living organism to multiply, as they cannot live on their own. Okay, so I already told you that they can easily replicate themselves in the living body. Viruses consist of genetic materials, DNA, RNA, which is surrounded by the protein coat capsid. Okay, might be I have not tell you this point that we have we already know that virus is nothing, it's like molecule of DNA or RNA which is surrounded by the protein coat that is called capsid. Viruses are responsible for causing severe fatal disease in humans, plants, and animals, etc. Still, we know that we are suffering from coronavirus. So, what virus do? Virus are responsible for causing severe fatal disease. Fatal disease means like a very harmful disease, very big disease. It all it is very trouble to control them, right? So that's why it is known as the like it's a fatal disease in humans, plants, or animals. It can affect anything, and it is very tough to control. Okay, now so today I'm going to last this class here only. In next class we will discuss some points, what is explain the nutrition in fungi, and question number D, which living organism are included in the kingdom Monera, and we will do the rest of the questions and answer in next class. So till the time just keep revising all the points given by me. Try to note down all this question answer in your notebook. Okay, and thank you. Bye bye. Take care.